It's Monday morning. The Republican National Convention is beginning. We have a number of Republicans who have opposed the president. We have people who have been indicted, more people. Bannon, Steve Bannon, along Roger Stone's already been convicted, so has Manafort, so has Gates, so has Michael Cohen. There's just a stench hanging around President Trump. And I've said over and over again, it's time to jettison these people, to have nothing to do with them. You have to move on your own. And sadly enough, Kellyanne Conway now is moving on from the White House for family issues. So the president is going to have to step up to the plate here and set a new example. Now, as I've said many, many times, in a personal capacity, I don't say this as head of Freedom Watch, I support him. I want him to win. We've in effect been his law firm now for almost 4 years. He has no Justice Department that stands up for him. Even Comey now is saying he doesn't think he's going to be indicted. That's how confident he is. And of course, Freedom Watch has its citizens' grand juries that we will hold Comey, the McCabe's, the Orrs, the Lovebirds, the Brennans, and others accountable. This is really an unbelievable outrage, I've got to tell you, is that Brennan gave an 8-hour interview and he was sure that he is not a target. That's John Brennan, who ran the CIA, who engaged in illegal surveillance on hundreds of millions of Americans, along with James Clapper, the director of national intelligence, doing the bidding of Obama, unmasking people illegally under Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, and he's been assured that he's not a target. This attorney general is a worthless piece of you-know-what, and I don't want to say it. It's a sham. This is just simply appearance purposes. This country has no law and order, has no law and order in the streets. The president hasn't taken sufficient action there. His attorney general is out to lunch. Puxatani Bill, blowhard Bill, whatever you want to call him, and Brennan has been assured that he's not a target, so he could give an 8-hour interview. The intent here is to burn lower-level people, to say that we did it. As usual, the elites walk off scot-free. Hillary Clinton walked off scot-free with regard to a deposition with regard to my former group, Judicial Watch. Not that it meant much after these years. They don't even know how to take a deposition. But the problem here is that we have a dual justice system. It's more than dual. We have no justice system. And that's why I urge you to read my new book, It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry. Turn off Fox News and Hannity and company. Get to work. This is what you're dealing with. The American people have had a fraud perpetrated upon them by our own government, a government which does not act by and for the people, but for itself, Democrat and Republican. The president has stood up to that in the past. That's how he got elected. But if he throws his lot in with these establishment Republicans like Bill Barr, who even allowed an appeal to go forward with regard to my client, Cliven Bundy, after a Obama judge threw the indictment out with regard to the successful standoff at Bunkerville, this tells you the outrage. This guy is more than worthless. He's corrupt. He's corrupt to the core. He's part of this establishment. And the president now is being represented by somebody at the Justice Department that does not have his best interests at heart, who simply mouths things, who doesn't do anything. And it's time for the president to do things, to take on communist China, to take on the people in the streets. He claims, the Attorney General says he locked up 1,200 people. You know what? There are tens of thousands of people in the street that need to be locked up, tried, and convicted. I doubt that he even did it, because you can't believe a word the Justice Department or the government says. And that brings us to something else. My computers have been hacked over the weekend. It was either communist China or was somebody else. This is unacceptable. I am fighting the Chinese. I can't even use my computers at the present time. I'm fighting them, but the President of the United States is bending over to them. And that's the problem. Now, I want him to win. If he's going to win, he has to be Donald Trump. He can't be Joe Biden. He can't be other people. He can't be establishment Republicans like Attorney General Bill Barr. And that's my message for today. And that's why you need to get the book. It Takes a Revolution. Forget the scandal industry. Have concrete solutions. It's not like Hannity. You know, he's got this book out, Live Free or Die. Everybody's promoting it. Even the president's selling it. I don't think that's, proper from Hannity's perspective. And maybe even from the president's, because he's pumping money into Hannity, who's doing commentary on his behalf every night as a shill. And I talk plainly. I'm sorry. We're in a deep, deep you-know-what. And the president's reelection is not certain. And unless he gets out of this and disassociates himself from these sleazy people, unless he starts to take strong action and not promise things to the American people, like Hannity does every night, but not coming through. Where's the border wall? We only have a few hundred miles. These things need to be done. They need to be done now because the president is at risk of losing. People get blamed for being in office. Probably every politician who's in office right now that's up for re-election is likely to lose. I don't want the president to lose. I want him to win. And that's why I'm talking clearly. I'm not just his sycophant. I'm not just his yes man. I see things on the horizon that are very ominous. And that's why get that book. It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry. You can pre-order it at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, BooksAMillion.com, all over the place. It comes out in October. Just get your copy because it's going to be in high demand. And I want you to really focus now because it's up to the American people as it was in 1776. Doesn't matter who wins the election. There's no political messiah. I wrote a column last week for WorldNet Daily. Go read that up on our website at freedomwatchusa.org. They edited a little bit, so I published it myself. It's much stronger, the one that's up on our website, and I love WorldNet Daily. But we are at great risk here. We're at peril. This country is on its back. And our foreign adversaries, whether it's Iran or Korea, North Korea, or whether it's others out there that are trying to harm us, they now see that. China, Communist China in particular, and they're going to take advantage as they already have. So go to freedomwatchusa.org and pre-order a copy of my book. I just don't mouth things and say vote for Trump. Trump's not going to solve it. He's certainly better than Biden, but we have to do it for ourselves. We have to stand up for ourselves. We have to do it under God. We have to be God-fearing people and know that he is behind us if we help ourselves. So go to freedomwatchusa.org, sign up for our Justice League, purchase my book. It will tell you how I think we can get out of this short of a violent revolution, which I don't want to see. It doesn't just mouth the words, vote for Donald Trump like Hannity. It's not enough. God bless you. God bless your family. God save America. And I'll be back tomorrow with a special podcast of Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman. Until then, thank you for listening to me.
O'Reilly. This is Derek's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
After the third time jump-starting my car, I finally realized my battery was dying. So I stopped by O'Reilly to have it checked. They tested it right there in the parking lot. It was bad, real bad. But they helped me find the right battery for my car and even installed it for free. Now my car starts like new.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly.
This is Derek's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
After the third time jump-starting my car, I finally realized my battery was dying. So I stopped by O'Reilly to have it checked. They tested it right there in the parking lot. It was bad, real bad. But they helped me find the right battery for my car and even installed it for free. Now my car starts like new.